at the Jerusalem Open House. So what's it like at the Jerusalem Open House, and are there any other like support systems in Israel for gay life besides Jerusalem Open House?
In Jerusalem or?
In Jerusalem Open House.
In Jerusalem, yeah. How about in Jerusalem for other support systems?
So I don't understand if there is more other support than the open house.
And like, what is the Jerusalem Open House like?
Well, Jerusalem Open House is for the. It's as it says, it's open house for people to come, for gay people to come. And they have different. Maybe you should interview them. You know, those who are working there and more activists than myself. But it's a place when it's open for the all gay community. There are a lot of activities for mostly for young ones, also for religious gay Orthodox people, men, lesbian and gays. Even sometimes there is some the Palestinian men gays can meet there. I can say that like if we have a women's center in Jerusalem, they support us, but it's not a place where we go. Sometimes I myself initiate an evening of lesbian issues in this center, but it's they totally support because it's a feminist center, but it's not in their issues of gay people. It's not, they have other issues that they dealing in the center. So I don't know in another place or other groups in Jerusalem beside the open house, if this is what you're asking me.
Would you agree that Israel will become one of the most gay-friendly cities in the world in the next few years, or do you think they have a lot to go before the community becomes truly accepted, comfortable, safe? Would you say?
I think we are still a long way to do it. I know that Israel wants to show that the Israel policy or the window of Israel that it's one of the most progressive countries in the world. I can say that by law, yes, we have good laws, but to practice it, you cannot practice law unless the society itself is enough educated or enough open or enough or different. But when you have, for me, is how we are in the society, that it's quite I can say a quite violent society, because we occupy territories. It's quite militarist country. The policy is very militarist, so it's all around violent. And when there is violent, you cannot. The society can't be open to all kind of people who are different in their own community, in their own society. So there is always connection, as I can see, between our politics around here and how they relate to gay people, to not only gay people, to those who come from Oriental Jews who come from Oriental countries, to even disabled people, etc. Those who are not, who are different. So, if you come to your question, I think we still have a long way to do it, And what they show that we are a great country, very open, very, and I think 100,000 participated in Tel Aviv parade, the Pride Day. It's mostly show off. It's not the real thing that's going on here. I wish I could tell you something else.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions. What? I'm gonna ask you a few questions about gay rights in Israel first.
Right.
So, do homosexuals, gay people, have the same medical rights as people who are as a heterosexual couple?
I cannot, I don't know the answer. I know what I heard, that it's not the same. I didn't myself, I didn't have, because I'm not in a couple, I'm single, so I don't have this when I come to medical stuff. But I know that there is some problems, but it's different. I mean, there depends where you go. There are some doctors or some clinics that are more open, and I know when if we talk about a couple who are having a baby and so forth, so they are welcome them, and there's no problem. But so I cannot ask you from my own personal experience.
I'm gonna ask you before. If it's okay, could you try not to move around as much?
I try.
Just your best. If you can't, it's fine. It's okay. Thank you. Would you mind if I ask you some personal questions?
Okay.
I was wondering when you came out of the closet and what it was like, the experience.
I was 37, which means that 31 years ago that I came out. Not that I was in closet before, it's just that I wasn't sure who I am. It's not that I knew that I'm lesbian and I'm in the closet, it's just I wasn't sure who I am. So it was so it happened in I can say like a sun house, you call it? Sun house? In what it was a feminist center there, here in Jerusalem. Most of the women, or half of who came to the center, were lesbians. So it was to come there I came out because I felt safe to do it there with these these women. And then of course I told this to my closest members in the family and my closest friends, and it wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't have problems, but I can say that my neighbors who knew about me, just because of my way of life, I was threatened not once. I was threatened, but I get over it. It was okay. But I was threatened, yes. But to be out in my age of 37, for me, I can see it as to be born again, to reborn. I start my life then.
Thank you. So, have you ever heard of pinkwashing?
Sure.
Oh, you have? Good. Do you think you could define it for us, please?
I think more or less I said it before, and when I criticize on the society, and It's using the gay community for the purpose of the policy of Israel to show the world that we are normal, everything is fine, and even we are better because you see we have very good laws for the gay rights, gay and lesbian rights, and here you can see Tel Aviv, the big city. We have this parade of 100,000 people, and thousands came from abroad to participate, and to show that everything is fine, with that the society accepts the gay. On the other hand, they don't tell about, for instance, what 3 years ago, and you might hear about it while you're here, about the murder that was in the youth gay center. And I just read today in Beersheba that one almost set fire on a gay center there, or meeting place there, and I know that the transgenders, that is now the big issue within the community, how they're accepting the transgenders in all kinds of way of life, like, because it's hard